All right, it's now time for the Fantasy Show Week 13 edition, pre-Thanksgiving week. Obviously, we have three great Thanksgiving games on the slate this week, so it'll be a great day of Thanksgiving food, great day of football, great day of fantasy football, some big matchups, as well as fantasy implications for the playoffs after a crazy Week 12. Let's get into the Week 12 matchups and see what happens. Starting at the top with my matchup versus the first place Slaps. And my little old measly team gets a win, a kind of a surprising win, 115 to 112. Two kind of mediocre score lines, but compared to some of the other matchups, a little bit better. Big win for me to keep my season alive. That's now 2 wins in a row to get me to 5-7 after I fell to 3-7. So still holding on by a thread. Not eliminated yet. Meanwhile, falls Slaps to 8-4. Does keep him though at the top of the standings once again. That's 2 weeks in a row now. Slaps has lost. Yet all the teams below him have also lost to keep him at the top spot. So getting a little fortunate, holding on to that number one seed at the moment. But it is tightening up the standings. Big win for me, even though Josh Allen on Thursday night got me off to a horrible start as the Houston defense just suffocated him with 6 sacks, only got 8 points. Was not a great start, did not look good. It looked like Josh Allen, after he revived my season last week with that huge game, was going to cost my season this week. But had some other guys step up in his place. Jalen Warren got a touchdown, which helped. Zay Flowers did just okay. Colson Loveland got into the end zone for 14 big points. And my boy George Pickens, the only reliable true player on my team this year that has consistently performed all season for me with 29.6 big points in that game for the Cowboys against the Eagles. He's been my star player. Meanwhile, all my other wide receivers that I took higher than him have been ass. So that was great to see. That gave me life, gave me a chance going into Monday Night Football with a lead. And Slaps had Jawan Jennings and Leggett, and they did not get enough. It was close, though, with Jawan Jennings get a touchdown on the very first drive to make it a sweat. Came down to the very last drive, but Leggett didn't get enough points, and I hold on to a 3-point victory to keep my season alive and just make things a little more interesting at the top as well. So GG's to Slaps, get my revenge from the week number one loss. So that was good to see in a closely contested battle. Slaps' side, he got a great performance from Jalen Hurts, of course, with 30 points. He had to start Justice Hill, who got a 0 because of Josh Jacobs being out. So that didn't help. Kyron had a bad game for once. Really, it was just Devontae Adams and Jalen Hurts on Slaps' side putting up the points, but not quite enough, as Leggett let him down on Monday Night Football. Anybody want to make any comments on this matchup? Cronky, I know you were pretty happy about Slaps losing this week.
Yep, great job, golfer.
Okay.
I wish your Josh Allen would have done a little bit better to make it easier on you, but
Yeah.
good win.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was felt good to pull out a close one, even though the team didn't perform outstanding. Did have some injuries and buys, so it was good to overcome those and get a win to keep the season alive at 5-7. And with this win, also guaranteeing, that I will not come in last place. So that was big. To avoid that, a
I
couple
just
weeks
want to
ago when I
say,
was 3-7, it looked dire. It looked like it was going to be right down to the wire last week of the season,
am
type
I
of
missing
thing.
some injuries on your team?
Huh?
Like, I'm looking at your lineup right now, and
Yeah.
I haven't obviously paid that much attention to your lineup, but
Uh-huh.
gee, many Christmas. Is this what we're working with?
What do you mean?
Oh, I, I just, I don't know. I think this team is not very good.
Okay, well, I mean, my team was a lot different at the start of the year, but we had to make trades. I
It's really
mean,
sad when you
Brian
have to
Brian Thomas
celebrate.
Jr. has been ass the whole season, and now has been hurt the last 3 weeks,
It's
so
really
he's
Yeah,
been a bust.
disappointing when you have to celebrate not getting last place golfer. Yikes from you.
Well, I mean, I'm celebrating that right now, but technically I'm still alive for the playoffs, so it's not over.
rough year, golfer.
I hope I play in the playoffs, golfer.
Okay, well, I played you earlier this year and beat you, so I hope I play you.
Wait, so theoretically, it's looking quite possible that the golfer's going to crack you $100.
Uh, maybe, yeah. With your win this past week, probably looks like that. But still just gonna, I was rooting for you to miss the playoffs, but it looks like you're gonna make it. So now I have to try to figure out a way to make the playoffs, and then we both lose in the first round to wash it out. Um,
Yeah, looking like it. It's looking like it.
but Cronky, it's okay. You can shit on my lineup. My lineup this week was not very good, but I
No,
had
I'm just
injuries.
saying.
So.
And
My
story
lineup
became
this
true.
upcoming week
2
looks
years.
a little bit better than this past week, assuming some guys come back. So we'll
So
see
it's
how it matches
like
up.
I said, now 2 years in a row that you got to negotiate a double or nothing with me. So I mean,
Well, I haven't
at some point I
negotiated
just
that
feel
yet
bad.
because it's not over yet, Cronky. I'm still alive. So, but yes, we will negotiate that when the time comes, if it comes. But anyways, all right, moving on then to the next matchup of last week. And as I just mentioned, me securing myself not last place was due to Ernie losing to Cronky 109.52. Another low scoring week for Cronky's team, though. Only 109 points. Would have lost to me after he was just shit talking my lineup this week. I would have beat him. But, anyways, he does get the job done against Ernie, who only scores 97 points. This coming off of like an 89-point week last week for Ernie. Just really just falling just completely off the map. These last 9 weeks, that's now 9 losses in a row. 9 straight fantasy weeks of losing. If that was me that lost 9 straight weeks, I would be hearing it every week on this show. But because Ernie's AFK this year, it feels like a lot of people are just giving him a pass for this pathetic, horrible season. At 2-10 now, guarantees himself last place already. I can't remember ever being already last place determined this early in a season with still 2 weeks left to go. Usually the last place comes down to at least the second to last week or the final week of the season. So just a horrible year from Ernie. 2-10, last place, 9 straight weeks in a row he has lost now, with Cronky not even putting up a lot of points, but still enough to beat Ernie. And Cronky now goes to 7-5. That's a few weeks now in a row. Cronky has had some mediocre score lines, but picked up a win. So the team not fully clicking on all cylinders, you could say. Lamar Jackson looks bad once again. That's now 2 straight weeks in a row since Cronky's traded for him, where he's had like single-digit points, and also picked up a little injury, so we'll have to monitor that. He started both Atlanta running backs, and Bijan finally had a back-down-to-earth game, as both of them didn't get that much on the ground. Obviously, JSN did his normal thing, and that's basically what got Cronky this win, was JSN getting 37 points. JMO did his typical boomer bust 0-point performance this week. Trey McBride, obviously, just steady as can be, again, with another 17 point. But, I mean, really, Cronky's team, if you look at it, it's McBride and JSN, and then he needs, like, one other guy.
Bijan.
Yeah, okay, but
Yeah.
Bijan has had some inconsistent weeks. He's not
Your
a guarantee.
team sucks, Cronky.
It's not
Your
a
team sucks.
guarantee.
I can't
He's
wait
had
to
some
see you
My
in 2
team
weeks.
sucks. You look at those 4 names and you shit yourself.
Xavier Worthy at
Can't wait to
9.9.
see you in those 2 weeks.
I'm just saying, when it comes to the playoffs, Cronky, you have quite a few boomer bust type of guys, and that can be dangerous.
I'm just saying.
in a
I'm
playoff
not saying
matchup.
that, but I mean, my lineup on paper is filthy.
Yeah, but
It's filthy.
But
Your
you
team
have guys
sucks.
on paper that haven't been performing this year consistently. So what happens if you get to week 2 of the playoffs and Jamison Williams drops a goose egg or
gotta
1
make it
point,
to week
and
2
Bijan
first.
only has 15,
I
and
hope
Lamar
that
has a
doesn't
bad
happen.
game, and you lose?
It's evident. It's evident that the flaw of my team is like my flex options.
Yeah, and your RB2 that you don't even have.
But hold on. When you look on the bench, Lad McConkey was on bye,
Yes.
so he's going to be in my lineup, and
Yeah.
Marv hopefully is going to be back this week.
Okay. Those are also a little, or Marv is kind of a little boomer bust.
Yeah, but he's going to get like more than my fucking Williams.
Okay. I'm just saying, you
No,
give
yeah,
the line a
and
pass.
it does.
I'm just saying,
See you in a couple weeks.
if you got bounced in a playoffs like, let's say you get bounced in the second or first round of the playoffs
I will
because your team
say-
just puts up a 109 type performance like this, it would not surprise me, because this has happened a few different times this year, is
I
what I'm
agree
saying.
with you though. My team is very prone to being boom or bust.
Yeah, you either
will
score
give you
like
that.
150 or you score 100.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
and that can be dangerous
I
in the
don't score.
playoffs.
I don't score 80 like
Yeah.
some teams.
Oh, okay. We'll get into that
But
in a minute.
Yeah, okay.
Meanwhile, Ernie's side, just to put the final notes on Ernie's just despicable season that doesn't get talked enough about. If this was some other people, they would be getting shit nonstop, but because Ernie's AFK this whole season, and the fantasy gods did justice this year. Ernie was AFK from the beginning, hasn't really paid much attention this season, hasn't really done much, and it shows with the 2-10 season. This league is very competitive and very, pays attention, very active. And
oh,
if you're gonna take a
100%.
year, if you're gonna take a year off, you're gonna get this. We saw this with Zach a couple years ago, where he kind of went AFK for a lot of the year and he finished last.
Yep.
So you can't afford
Yep. We did.
to have this type of year because you're gonna pay for it, and Ernie paid for it this year. So
You're up next,
it'll
Cronky.
be
Next year, you're in.
interesting. It will be
I'm
interesting
next.
to see what happens with Ernie. Does he take the buyout of the $200 punishment, or does he do the punishment challenge that he put? It is funny. He proposed that idea of a punishment for last place, so now he will be the one doing his own proposed punishment, or he'll pay the buyout. We will see what Ernie decides to take when he finally decides to read the message.
What is his proposed punishment?
It's either the hot chip challenge or the hot ramen noodles on stream live in a Discord, or he pays $200, and that $200 gets divided up and given to everybody that has beat him this year. So basically the whole league,
So,
because the whole league
yeah.
is basically beat him.
Well, okay. So I just beat him this week. So the only player that hasn't beat him is Rat. So what is that divided? 200.
Well,
divided
Rat
by
has a
12, you're
chance to
looking
beat
at.
him, I think, the final week. So there is a chance that all 12 people could get a split of that money if Rat beats him in
That's
week,
hilarious.
the final week. Yep. Yeah, so just a disaster for Ernie's team. He took his Eagles boys, which hasn't worked out this season, although A.J. Brown did have a nice game, was the leading scorer for Ernie. But his Pitts has been a disaster for the most part. Monty has not been the Sonic and Knuckles we're used to, as that's kind of been outdated and not good. Just a disaster season overall from Ernie. Didn't ever really change his lineup. Didn't really make too many trades. Had some guys early in the year when his team started out pretty decent that he could have traded on a high if he was more active. Maybe, you trade a Quentin Johnson after 4 weeks knowing that he's probably going to come back down to earth at some point. But, wasn't active enough to make those type of moves, and, that's what you get, a 2-10 season. So I think more people need to put some emphasis on that. So anyone have any comments on this matchup, Cronky? You get a win over Ernie. Your comments?
I just want to my lineup aside, Ernie. This is how do we put this? You keep it up, Ernie. You might be gone.
Okay, relax.
No,
I mean,
I tried to stand up for him.
I do think it's kind of interesting
boy.
how, it's very Matt eerie similar this year, Ernie, compared to Matt last year. Comes in the chat every once in a while, makes like one comment, and then that's it, and didn't want to try to make any moves. I mean, it is kind of similar, I'm not going to lie, but, Ernie, we'll see if he bounces back next season. And we'll see, I guess,
There's
if he does
just
the
no
punishment
way.
or if he goes full Matt. That's, I
And
guess,
he's
another question.
I wouldn't rule that out.
Oh,
I would
okay.
not rule that
Well,
out.
we'll see.
I wouldn't rule that out, to be honest with you. I mean, what's the point of doing the punishment? And
Well,
what's the point of paying?
I
You're
would
gonna pay
hope
$200.
I would hope he cares about this league, and in the future, like next year, will try a little harder and go back to his previous seasons
I just
where he
want to say
tries.
this.
So that's the reason to do the
It's
punishment.
become to the point with his inactiveness, you look and think, is him talking to us for $200 worth it?
Is what?
I don't know.
Oh.
Everybody
just saying.
relax. Just
I'm
take
I'm
a
just saying,
sip.
Well,
is he
that's
really
but that's
gonna
what I'm
pay
saying.
us
I would hope in
200
the
to-
future he'll say, hey, next year
Let's move
I'm gonna
on.
try a lot
Golfer,
more and
is
go
he
back
gonna
to
pay $200 to talk to you ever again?
Okay,
don't think
I know what you're
Let's
saying, but
move
my
on.
point is
I
maybe
don't
he's
think
like
he
a
is.
Zach where he just had 1 year where he was like down and didn't try, but then the next year comes back
No.
strong.
Zach, I don't
I
think there's
paid the
let's
fee.
relax here.
I paid the
I'll
fee.
get the personality that he's done or they're gone. He hasn't said a word.
Okay, you
Okay,
talk a
well,
lot
we'll
for a
see
little
what
guy.
happens. We're a ways
You
out from
talk
that,
a lot,
Crumpy, so let's
Zach.
not start the conspiracies.
It's
We're-
gonna kill that day. That day's gonna kill Zach. It's gonna hit him like 4 bullets right to the chest.
I mean,
And the day you leave can't be soon enough. I'm waiting for that day.
Oh, you
Okay.
might pop the champagne that day,
okay.
and
No,
that day's
Cronky,
never gonna
I'd be
come.
sad if you left. You're a fun member in the league, even though you are annoying as fuck sometimes, especially when you're.
Oh, I'm never gonna leave. Never
Okay.
ever.
All right. Zach, you want to make any comments on Ernie's disastrous season?
It's all been said. No comment from me.
Okay. All right. Moving on then to the next matchup. This was a low-scoring toilet bowl matchup. You know, I did find it kind of interesting that Pook was talking shit on me and Slaps' matchup before the week started when he put that picture of our projected scores in there and said toilet bowl matchup of the week. But then he never corrected himself and re-put in this matchup score and said this was actually the toilet bowl of the week. So great transparency there, Pook. Anyways, Rat picks up a big win on Monday Night Football over Zach to keep his season alive now. 5-7 for Rat, 91.84 to 88.82.
Can
Zach's
you repeat
team,
that? Hold on. Can you repeat that score again?
91.84 to 88.82.
Gotcha. Just
Yes.
wanted to double check
Yes,
that. Thank you.
pretty bad. But a win is a win in fantasy. And in Rat's case, he'll take a win anyway he can get it. And he got it this week barely, just by the skin of his teeth, by Rico Dowdle barely getting enough. It wasn't pretty, but he got enough in the end. On Zach's side, you know, Zach made that big trade a couple weeks ago at the deadline, and he did announce when he made that trade that it was going to be a rough couple weeks, as that trade did not help him at the moment, but he's banking on it helping him towards playoff time. And he is right, because his last 2 weeks has been dreadful, as that's now back-to-back losses for Zach. Still 7-5, still in a pretty prominent position to make the playoffs. It would take pretty disastrous 2 losses and low scores and a lot of people scoring a lot of points to overtake them. But not guaranteed just yet, but pretty much a lock. Just a good performance from Matthew Stafford, though, with 22. That was kind of the highlight from Zach. Jonathan Taylor, a little bit down with only 8.6 points as the Chiefs bottled him up very well. Chase Brown had a nice game with 15. Jefferson, I'm sorry, but we keep saying it. This is kind of just the norm from Jefferson, around 10 points. Around 10 points is what you're going to get from Jefferson with J.J. McCarthy as the quarterback. Jerry Jeudy, just a disaster as he made one big catch but fumbled on the play. Mark Andrews came back down to earth, didn't get into the end zone. Mac Hollins came back down to earth. Isaiah Hodgins had 12. That was, I guess, the highlight. On Rat's side, Baker Mayfield got hurt on Sunday Night Football, and you should have heard Rat in the party. He was freaking out. He has thought that he had lost this matchup and choked this away somehow because Baker got hurt and didn't get any points. Meanwhile, Stafford was still playing. But he was in a position where Cade Otton got a couple catches in the fourth quarter in garbage time to get him a few points at least out of that game, where then he only needed 8 going into Monday Night Football with Rico Dowdle, and he got 11. So GG's to Rat. Had a nice game from Genty with 24.8. CD, though, continues to not do great. Nico not doing great. So, you know, we said with Rat, he needs to win, but he also needs to win by scoring a lot of points. So although he did win this week and his season is still alive, you'll see when we look at the standings, this 91 points did not help his points for total. So he's going to have to start putting some huge performances these next couple weeks. And I just don't know if I see the team that can do that.
Is this Rat we're talking?
Yeah, Rat.
Is he cooked on the
Yeah, he's got a horrible points for, and you know he's had way too many weeks like this where he only scores 91 points. But
well, let's say 7. Yeah, he's fucked.
That's what I'm saying. He has to score a lot of points the next 2 weeks, or he needs
to
a lot of
lock
things to
that.
go his way. He needs Tyler to
Correct.
lose out.
Yeah.
That way he can actually like jump Tyler just on record.
He needs Bill to
He needs
lose out.
Pook and Bill and me to all lose because we're all ahead of him. So he needs a lot because it doesn't look like he's going to gain the points with these type of totals.
No.
But he
He's
is still
fucked.
alive
He's
nonetheless.
fucked.
He's still alive technically.
Well, that's another 100 to Cronky.
Okay. All right. Zach, your comments after falling to Fake Rat.
I think we all know whose fault this is. This is the doing of evil dictator Nazi Hitler Roger Goodell.
Oh, because Jamar Chase
A
was suspended.
video, creating an AI video of Jamar Chase spitting and then suspending him. That cost me this game. If Jamar Chase plays, I know this could be an easy win.
All right. Well,
Jesus Christ.
maybe he
AI
should spit
video.
over there.
AI
Fake Rat
video.
got really, really lucky. He may have created that video himself and sent it to Roger Goodell.
If he
but
did, that's just an
Jamar
insane
Chase
play to him,
plays-
and you should credit him.
If Jamar Chase plays, then this is an easy win. For
Yeah,
sure.
well, he didn't because he decided to spit on Jalen Ramsey.
Yep, no, but I think I remember saying last week that this is exactly how this matchup was going to go. It was going to be low scoring, and I could squeeze it out if Fake Rat's
Did the
team shit the
Bengals
bed.
still make the playoffs?
The Bengals can still make the
No,
playoffs,
no,
just
they
like Fake Rat.
They cannot make the playoffs.
Just like Fake Rat can.
Are they
still make the
eliminated?
playoffs. They're not. They're alive.
Aren't they
Let me see.
3-8?
I'm looking this up.
They are alive. The Bengals are back, and I have the stack. So
Oh my God. They probably have to
I
win every
said at the
game.
beginning of the year that I would have this.
They're
stack.
3-8. They have no chance of making the playoffs.
What are you talking about? No chance.
They have absolute
No.
zero chance of making the playoffs. They're
They can
3-8.
finish
That's
9 and 8.
so-
Yeah, they're not doing that.
They can do that.
Hold on.
They have to win out. They're not winning.
Yep. They can win out. They have Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and
Correct.
Chase
Hold
Brown.
on. Let me check.
And 9-8 might not even make the playoffs in the AFC.
ChatGPT. Hold on.
it'll
Let me
keep
give
them alive.
ask AI. ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Thank you. Can
I mean, they are 3
Bengals
games back in their division,
still
so I guess they could win
make-
their division still.
Yeah, so they're alive. What the fuck are you talking about? And they play the Ravens this week.
Yeah, which I think they're gonna lose. But anyways,
Wow.
yes,
All right.
the Bengals can still make the playoffs, but the path is likely
Oh.
tighter. Requires a strong finish.
Yeah, 9 and 8.
all right. So would it be fair to say, Zach, your fantasy team is a lot like the Cincinnati Bengals?
No.
Well, I'm just saying from the standpoint of you're expecting a strong finish from the Bengals, and
Okay, you could say that.
You've kind of gone through some
And
rough weeks
I
these
also
past few
have a
weeks,
strong
like the
finish.
Bengals have,
Okay, we could.
and
we
you're
could
expecting a
agree there.
strong finish to your fantasy season now that your
Yeah.
team's back.
Yeah, I am.
The Bengals are back.
Yeah. As long as we have no AI spitting
All right.
videos.
Well,
we'll be
just
fine.
like in the past years, Zach, when you were all in on the Bengals, they're going to let you down. And I think your fantasy team is going to let you down. But
What?
anyway,
I somewhat agree. I somewhat agree.
Okay, Lemar is gonna let Pusa down the most.
that could be true as well. All right. Moving on then to the next matchup, we saw Anth take down Tyler. This was one of the biggest matchups of the week from the playoff standpoint, as both these teams were in 6th and 7th. So a big battle there, and Tyler was in the driver's seat on Monday Night Football to get this victory over Anth, as it looked like Anth was dead in the water. He only needed Brock Purdy to get him like 13 points, and then Brock Purdy goes out on Monday Night Football and puts an absolute dud out there with 3 interceptions and only 7.3 points, and Anth somehow pulls out another Monday Night Football victory. That's like the second or third time this year that Anth has gone into Monday Night Football and it didn't look good for him going into the night, and he has pulled it out with some crazy bad performances from the other side's players. So just a huge win from him now to go to 7-5 with his points for. He's probably as well in the playoffs now with the 7th win. Meanwhile, Tyler with that loss falls to 6-6, so a crushing loss for Tyler. He's now right there in a battle with some teams that are creeping right on the door for that final playoff spot. Also only scored 118 points, so he lost some points to the person catching him who had the most points on the week. We'll talk about in a minute. So yeah, very disappointing from Tyler's side. His team has kind of been a little wishy-washy, losing quite a few games down the stretch. A lot of people were picking him to be the one that kind of falls out, possibly. And this week kind of makes it justify that maybe he is the one that falls out after just a heartbreaking loss thanks to Purdy. Wandell, though, had a huge game with 30 big points. Nakua did his normal thing, but other than that, he had to start Aaron Jones, who didn't do very much. Travis Kelce didn't do a whole lot. He started 2 tight ends, and Goddard didn't do much with 4. Meanwhile, on Ant's side, Ant got a good performance from James Cook and Etienne, his 2 running backs, who have been kind of the key to Ant's team all season long. They both showed up for him this week with 20 points each. DK Metcalf got a touchdown before getting banged up. Pittman had a decent game. Jawan Johnson continues to look pretty decent. And Kenneth Gainwell had a very nice game with some big catches, with 6 catches. Almost had a touchdown in there as well. 18 big points. Kamara, though, did get banged up, so that is another injury that Anth has to deal with. He's already dealing with the Drake London injury. So just add that to the list, and Laporta being out. So he's got, 3 big injuries to his lineup that he now has to deal with. We'll see what happens with Kamara moving forward. But at least he does get that 7th win. It would be a lot worse if he was 6-6 dealing with the injuries. So to get this win is big for Anth. Meanwhile, Tyler now falls into the danger category. He is still in that 7th spot if it started today, the playoffs. But Bill is right on his heels, and some other teams are also a game back and creeping up on the points for margin. Comments? Anyone want to make comments over this matchup or this crazy loss from Tyler? Looked like he had it in
No
the bag.
comment. I wonder if Tyler even knows he lost.
Yeah, you think Tyler's not looking at the fantasy sleeper app?
Maybe every Wednesday or Thursday before games start, but that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be interesting to get his comments on. I'm sure in a Tyler fashion, he'd say he would throw it off like nothing's wrong, like he's still going to make the playoffs, everything's okay. How he's just been extremely unlucky, how Brock Purdy not getting 13 is extremely unlucky. I'm sure he would go down that route like he normally does. But, big win from Anth. It's his first year in the big leagues, and he's putting in a strong season, buying his way possibly into the playoffs in his first year. Cronky, you want to make any comments on Ant's season this year?
I'm very proud of him, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I think he has justified a place in this league
All
with
right.
the finish
Wow.
he's going to have this year.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot
Not the
more.
worst addition to the league, I will say that, but
Well,
he hasn't
displayed
hasn't
more
been the best.
activeness than a good portion of this league. So
I think
Okay.
he should be a little more active, but he's been a good addition nonetheless.
Okay. So we would say an upgrade over the person that he replaced?
Yes. an
Okay.
upgrade.
Well, then that's, at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
I mean,
yes,
it wasn't
for sure.
much
I
to
would say
upgrade
that for
upon.
sure. Yeah,
Alright.
there was not much resume.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's good. That's a win. That's what we want. Upgrades into the league. So congrats to him on that win. We'll see. Like you said, 7 wins doesn't guarantee the playoff or lock it up, but with his points for it would take a major collapse and a major all these teams below him scoring huge points over top of him to catch him at this rate. So he's almost all but in there. Meanwhile, Tyler has a lot of work to do these last 2 weeks if he wants to get in. Moving on then to the next matchup. We saw another team near the top fall as Pook continues his hot streak with a big win over Cheese, 127.28 to 92.16. Pook now going to 5-7, also guaranteeing himself not last. So he said a few weeks ago his goal was to avoid last, similar to mine, and he has now successfully done that. So congrats to him. And now he's maybe got shot to just win these last 2 weeks and see what happens. Maybe somehow he makes a run in and gets in that final spot. Who knows? His team has been a little bit hotter recently. He started Jacoby Brissett, who got 18 points, so not a bad start there. Breece Hall's been playing a little better the last few weeks. Henderson had 11 points, which wasn't bad. Did outsnap Ramondre Stevenson, so that's not horrible. He did have some goal line opportunities as well. They just couldn't get him in. Diggs had one of his worst games of the year. Shakir had a nice game on Thursday night to get him started with 17 as he was getting force fed. He was the only guy that could seem to get open against Houston. Brock Bowers, 11, not horrible, but not what we were hoping. I'm sure Pook, after that huge game a few weeks ago, was hoping more of that. Kind of just looks a little more standard from Bowers from tight end perspective. He did have to start Darnell Mooney, and that worked out well with no Drake London. And then the Green Bay backup, Wilson, had a monster game from him. So that was a good pickup by Pook to have the Josh Jacobs backup, and it came in handy this week with 26 big points. On Cheese's side, kind of a disaster week from Cheese, 92 points. If he joins later, we'll get his comments, but they are not very positive from Cheese's point of view. He is, I'm not going to say mass panic, but he is definitely in a bit of a panic mode as he is not liking the position that he has got himself into these last few weeks, losing these games now at 7-5. It's the points for that's kind of starting to creep low from Cheese's point of view. Caleb Williams, though, he did end up starting him. We had a big debate last show on he had Bryce Young in there, and me and Rat were saying, what the hell are you doing not starting Caleb Williams? Which you're welcome, Cheese. Me and Rat steered you in the right direction because Bryce Young had 8 points and looked absolutely pathetic last night. So Caleb Williams got 21. McCaffrey did his normal thing with 27. What's kind of hurt Cheese's team is that Bears running back situation. When he made the trade for Swift, he was like the bona fide RB2, perfect RB2. He was getting around 15 points a game, looking very good. But after that slight injury from Swift, Monagle has come in there and looked decent and has stolen some of that workload away. And it's kind of just become a committee from hell now as Swift only had 1.9 points. Yikes. Ricky Pearsall also has not got going yet since he came back from injury. A lot of talent on this guy, but he just hasn't been able to get it going yet in that passing game. Only 2.8 points. Ferguson did okay. Woody Marks only had 7.9. And Jacoby Myers had a decent game, though. Got into the end zone. So that's maybe the one bright spot going forward for Cheese's team with Myers. Other than that, he had Sutton on a bye, so that hurt him. But yeah, Cheese's team kind of, if you had to say if he's trending up or down, it's kind of trending down. With Swift going down, Pierce not looking like a consistent player, Pearsall not consistent. I mean, he's got a lot of guys here that are not consistently trending in the right direction, and I think that's what's got Cheese concerned. Meanwhile, on Pook's side, it's the opposite. His players are trending upward, and that's what's gotten him on this hot streak. Anybody want to make any comments on this matchup or either of these teams? Cheese's team in general? Anyone worried for Cheese's playoff?
Pook will not make the playoffs.
Okay, Pook will not make the playoffs despite his run. Okay. Cronky, got any thoughts on Cheese's team?
Cheese completely traded away his season. I wasn't here last week, so obviously didn't get to bitch as much as I wanted to about that trade.
Yep.
Or was that 2 weeks ago?
It was last week when Josh Allen went off against him for me.
This is an unacceptable fuck up that you made.
I mean, Josh Allen will get 8 points this week, so it's not like that would have changed anything.
Okay. This is an unacceptable fuck up by his team. His trades that he's made recently, like with me, has really decided to fuck him. I mean, like Ricky
didn't he
Pearsall.
Trade Jordan Addison for Pearsall?
And Pearsall has put up 1 point and 2 points.
Addison just had 0. They're both kind of shit.
I'm not so high on Ricky Pearsall, to be honest with you.
Okay,
anymore.
But you're high on Addison?
No, I just don't think that Jesus' team's very good anymore. It's evident that
But I guess the point I'm making to you is I agree. His team does not look very good right now on paper.
Oh, it's fucking garbage.
That's what I said is trending down. But my point is you're trying to say his trades has made his team look bad, and I'm just trying to ask you how is that the case when the two players he traded away are also
He's had to make some really bad trades.
Yes, earlier in the year. Yes, earlier in the year.
Because this is really bad. I don't know if he ever made a trade with me, but whatever trades he fucked up on really have cost him because his team is just purely dog shit.
The early trades this season, which he's already admitted were not good for him. But the question is, he's 7-5 somehow, despite all of that. Do you think he holds
Yeah,
on and gets in the playoffs?
no. Yeah, he could make the playoffs, but I
Okay.
would say that justifies the good teams and the bad teams that are going to make the playoffs.
Okay.
Um, I mean, he's got 7 wins already. He could still make the playoffs.
Eh,
I mean,
yeah.
I think he's got a good chance to make the playoffs. To be honest with you, I mean, I only have 7 wins.
I don't know. You look at his points for though; it's starting to dip down there, which we'll take a look at
Yeah,
here in a minute.
I understand, but like, he just has to win one week. He can do
Yeah.
that.
Okay. All right. Fair
And I
enough.
mean, I don't think this team's good, like
All
whatsoever.
right.
I hope if I don't get the bye, that somehow things
You match up with him.
go my way and I
Uh,
get to play him because this
okay.
is whoa.
Fair enough. Any comments on Pook's team? Do you agree with Zach that he's not making it?
I don't know. Pook somehow, some way. This is unprecedented. If he makes the playoffs by going by winning out,
Yeah.
I mean that's power to him, golfer. That's something else.
Okay. But do you think it's gonna happen?
Who does he still have to play? Because
Uh,
if it's reasonable, I could see it happening. I mean, his team's good enough. I mean,
he
Jacoby
plays
Shut up,
Anth.
Brissett,
He
Cronky.
plays
Shut up.
Anth next week,
he could
and he
maybe beat
plays
Ant.
Tyler in the final week. So two kind
Oh
of,
my, yeah, those are
contested
two
teams.
winnable games.
Yeah, but they're also like teams fighting, in the playoffs. They're not bad teams. It's not like he's playing Ernie, so or Murat. So
Like I said, I think the top of the line in this league compared to everybody else is drastic.
really, okay.
I think it's
I don't.
drastic.
I mean, I think Zombies team definitely has an advantage, but I wouldn't say it's clear.
Oh, me and Zombie are
Um,
ahead of the pack.
I don't know if I'm
Then
throwing
maybe
you in with
Zach.
Zombie. I think Zombies team is a little
God
clear.
damn, you have a big ego.
I don't know if I'm putting
Uh,
you in with Zombie. I think Zombie's a little clear of everybody,
you
but
guys
it's
just
not
wanted to.
much.
You guys wanna. It's not even gonna let. You're not even gonna let it creep into your brain.
Buddy, I mean, we already talked about your lineup. You have a lot of boomer bust guys. Zombie has a little more consistency through his whole
How
lineup.
bad is it gonna feel when I win this league this year? How bad is it gonna feel?
Okay. Very bad, so that's why we're all rooting against you.
Yeah.
All right. And then moving on to the final matchup of this past week. Speaking of Zombie, he did fall this past week to Bill as Bills continues his magical run with a 171.44 to 142.76. Huge victory for Bill as his team pops off. Zombie's team also put up a huge scoreline. Got very unlucky that he was facing the person that scored more than him. He would have beat, I believe, everybody else. So very unfortunate from Zombie to score the second most points on the week, but face the guy that scored the most. So just a massive win for Bill as he continues his hot streak. The only thing more impressive than Pook making the playoffs, I think, would be Bill, as he was just in the same gutter spot as Pook, and he has rolled off a bunch of wins. Now at 6-6, tied for that final record with the seventh place team Tyler. So he's worked his way all the way back now to record even with 2 weeks to go. So he is very much alive to get into the playoffs. Zombie falls to 7-5, so he's in that mess at 7-5. But Zombie with a high point score is basically in. Even if he loses out these last 2 weeks, it'd be even more of a crazy miracle for him to miss it, with his points for being one of the highest in the league. Um, Bill got a huge game from Derrick Henry and a monster, legendary performance from Jahmyr Gibbs, 55 huge points. Just a monster game that basically won Bill this matchup this week over Zombie. Felt good for Zombie to face that because usually Zombie has those type of performances on his team. So it felt good that Zombie now had to face that for once. McMillan only got 11. Buka kind of came back down to earth with 6. Hunter Henry had a monster game with 24.5, as they were just hitting him over the middle all game long. Parker Washington has also been a strong addition to Bill's lineup recently. That has got him on this hot streak at 18. George Kittle had 13, did solid. But overall, it was Gibbs and Henry having monster games that set him apart from Zombie's team, who put up a strong showing. His running backs didn't do much with only 5 and 12, but Amon-Ra had a 30-point game. Rashee Rice had a 24-point game. Those are his workhorses. And Michael Wilson has come on the scene with Marv out. if he can do this with Marv out, it makes you wonder why Marv can't be putting up these 10 catches for 15, or 10 catches on 15 target type games. We'll see with Marv now back in there if what happens with Wilson. But that's been a big boost for Zombie these past 2 weeks, even though they've been losing efforts. So yeah, big win for Bill to get to 6-6, right in the mix. Anybody want to make any comments on this matchup? Anybody like Bill's chances to get in? Hello?
I like Bill's team.
Okay.
Somehow, some way, Bill has
Mid-team.
Bill has
So
changed.
you're saying he doesn't make it, Zach?
He could get in, but he ain't gonna do anything.
Oh, okay.
I think, yeah, I
been
would
hot.
agree with that.
Oh, okay.
I would agree with that, but I do like his team compared to others.
Okay. Could get in. All right, so looking at the standings then, and this past week was a crazy week as we saw, kind of like last week, all the top teams pretty much lose, and all the bottom teams except Ernie win, which just makes these standings even tighter. First place is only 8-4. That is Slaps at the moment. However, the teams at 7-5, and there's a long list of them, only a game back. Zombie, Pusa, Zach, and Ant, and Cheese. Now, one thing to note, if you look at Slaps' points for, it is a lot worse than most of the 7-5 teams. He only has Cheese beat on points for. So that means, literally, if Zombie, Cronky, Zach, Anth, if any of them win next week and Slaps would lose, they're going to jump frog him for that top spot. Obviously, as we said, Zombie in the strongest position, as he has a monster points for with 1,626 points this year. Then Cronky in a second place with 1,532. Then Zach with 1,508. So that's why, even though they're only 7-5 and they're only like a game out of missing the playoffs, they're kind of 2 games out with how high their points for are. When you compare them to the 6-6 teams, Tyler at 6-6 with only 1,437. And Bill at 6-6, just on the outside looking in, with 1,418. Now, Tyler did have a pretty sizable lead earlier in the season, but his points for has been tanking lately, which has caused a lot of people to get back in it. One thing to note, though, and the reason I point out Cheese at 7-5, he does have 7 wins, but look at his points for, 1,411, meaning he is worse than Bill at 1,418. So Bill has him actually edged. So if Cheese would lose next week and Bill would win and Tyler would win, Cheese could find himself in the 8th spot and both of them could find themselves in the 6th and 7th spot. So Cheese definitely needs to try to get a win, at least one win in the next 2 weeks to try to keep his spot, or else it could get very sticky for Cheese. Tyler in the same boat. He does have a lead over Bill on points for, but it is narrowing. Only about a 20-point gap. Which could easily be made up this week. Then you get into the other 5 and 7s that are a game back of Tyler. Pook, right now in the 9th spot, he has 1,392.86. That is substantially closer in narrowing with Cheese and Tyler. Before it was like almost a whole 100 points away from Tyler. Now it is down. Pook's only about 40 points off of Tyler, and even less on Cheese, only about 20. So even closer. Then me at 1,377. I'm about 15 points off of Pook. So I got to obviously jump him, but then also have to catch up to Tyler and Cheese, who I'm about 50 and 60 points away from. And then, as we mentioned with Rat, he is also 5 and 7, so still has a chance. However, when you look at his points for, then it takes a big gap, as he is about 70 points behind me, which means he's over 100 points behind Tyler and Bill and Cheese. So he's got a lot. He needs a lot of help. He needs a lot of these. He needs the 6-6 teams to lose out the rest of the year. He needs Pook and me to lose to have any hope of getting in just on record, flipping the record to get in that last spot, because it doesn't look like he's going to catch up on the points for margin. And then obviously Ernie at the bottom at 2 and 10, as we already mentioned. He has guaranteed himself the last place 12th spot. His points for is higher than Rat, but it does not matter because Rat is now 3 games ahead of him with only 2 games left in the season. So GG's to Ernie on that. Cheese, hello. We were just talking about the standings, how it is kind of getting tight, and we did mention your points for is starting to creep into a spot where it gets competitive with the people at 8, 9, and 10. Where if you would lose out
Way
and go
I
to
see
17,
it,
you could get jumped. Are
I
you getting
essentially
worried?
need a win. I
Yep.
need a win, or I don't think I make it at 7 and 8. I need
Okay.
a win, or
Okay.
7 and 7.
All right, I would agree with you.
I mean,
Off
my
your points.
only hope is that Tyler's points for are like in my range, I would
Yes.
say.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But I also play him, so it doesn't really matter.
Yep. That'll be a massive matchup.
If I wasn't playing Tyler, I could get away with losing if he also lost.
Yep.
But because I'm playing him, I feel like that's kind of it.
Yeah, that's a huge, huge matchup.
Whoever between me and him, whoever wins that, it's kind of.
Yep, kind of be in. Any comments on your team in general after your loss this past week? Where you scored bad performances. We were talking about your team. It seems to kind of be trending downward.
Caleb Williams looked good. I mean, Caleb Williams had a good game. McCaffrey, of course.
And then what else?
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
That's
Ferguson's been fine. For a tight end, Ferguson is fine. Like, it's not an issue. Jacoby Myers looked all right. I mean, the issue is I just have a bunch of, like, all right players with low floors.
Yep.
So,
that's kind of what I was saying. Your team kind of just is trending downward with not.
I mean, if I can get in the playoffs, I can fluke off maybe. If you would have a couple of strong weeks.
People disagree. Kroenke was saying he hopes if he doesn't get the bye that he plays you in the playoffs in the first.
I mean, my team's not looking strong. I'll say that.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, it looks fucking terrible. Really, really bad. I'm surprised that you're still here, to be honest with you. I thought you would have kept it up and zipped up the season.
At least Lamar Jackson's not my quarterback.
Oh.
You got shit to say about your quarterback?
Caleb Williams at 21 points.
Okay. And you traded Josh Allen?
Buddy, Josh Allen had how many points this week? It wouldn't have made a difference.
Oh,
he did have 8,
God.
but he had 42 against you last week. You could have already had your win. You could have 8 wins right now, Cheese, if you kept Josh Allen
last week. He put you to bed. He zipped you up and put you in the coffin last week, Cheese.
Cheese was correct when he was talking shit on Lamar right there. Great job, Cheese. I knew you were a smart fantasy player.
I have a plan for this week, and it's going to be risky. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that being said, let's get into the Monster Week 13 matchups. We will save that Cheese Tyler one for the end, as that is a huge one, as we already mentioned. We'll start at the top with my matchup versus Zombie. Obviously, it's going to be a tough matchup for me. I believe in the first matchup versus him, I did lose to him. I do not have a good record versus Zombie overall. Actually, did I beat him? Can somebody look at the matchup from week 2? Did I beat Zombie?
Yeah, I got you. Hold on. Week 2. Week 2.
I think I lost.
You lost by a lot of points.
Yeah. So I don't have a good history versus Zombie, dating all the way back to a few years ago in the playoffs when he beat me. The one year many years ago when we were on ESPN and I made the semifinal, he beat me there and eliminated me. So yeah, I do not have a good history versus Zombie. It's going to be very tough with his lineup. As you can see, Sleeper loves his team this week. 145 projection to 124 for me. My lineup does look a lot better though than last week, assuming players come back, which I'm going to need everybody to come back if I want to have any chance to knock off Zombie. Maybe though, after having a big week last week and losing, maybe his team has a shit week this week. He does have Justin Herbert against the Raiders. That is a good matchup. Obviously, the Raiders are complete dog shit. Devon Achane against New Orleans, also pretty decent matchup coming off the bye. I expect that to be pretty good. He does have Juggernaut Gervonta against Kansas City on Thursday. Kansas City did a good job bottling up Jonathan Taylor, so hopefully they do the same to Dallas and make them throw it. St. Brown on Thursday against Green Bay. Obviously a Thanksgiving Day game. We'll see how St. Brown does in that. Rashee Rice on Thursday against Dallas. So obviously Zombie, a lot of his lineup on Thursday, as with a lot of people's teams. Tyler Warren against Houston. And then the other tight end for the Chargers against the Raiders should be pretty decent. Michael Wilson against Tampa Bay. Like I said, hopefully Marv is back, and maybe that knocks Michael Wilson back down for my sake. He also does have options on the bench with Ron Odunze and Godwin that he could also throw in possibly if Marv is back. We'll see what he does there. On my side, Josh Allen against Pittsburgh, looking for a big bounce back game from Josh Allen. Pittsburgh's defense not nearly as good as Houston's. Expect a big bounce back game from him. Gonna need another huge performance. RJ Harvey coming off the bye Sunday night against Washington, so we do have a Sunday night player. Looking for a good game from him as Washington's defense is atrocious. Jaylen Warren against Buffalo. Buffalo hasn't done too well against running backs, so hopefully that will be a good matchup for him. Brian Thomas Jr. against Tennessee. We will see what happens. He's expected to make his return this week, and I'm going to need him. Hopefully against Tennessee, he can do something. This would be a good time for him to have a nice game. Zay Flowers on Thursday night, so I do have a Thanksgiving player against Cincinnati. Colston Loveland on Friday. At the moment, he's in there, but I will be watching and seeing what happens with Dalton Kincaid. He is also trending in the right direction, so he may be put in instead. George Pickens on Thursday against Kansas City. It looks like he will be okay as he was limited today in practice. They're going to need him if they have any chance to beat Kansas City. And then Trey Benton right now in my flex against Tampa Bay. He is also looking like he could return from injury, and with the running back situation in Arizona, could get quite a few touches. So I like that spot from him if he comes back, and I'm going to need him. And then Butker on Thursday night as well against Dallas. So right now I have some guys questionable, looking like they're going to return. They're all positive news, and I'm going to need all of them if I have a chance. Obviously, I'm going to take myself to pull off a major upset here against the best team in the league, Zombie. No way, Zombie, you should lose this matchup versus me because your team is a god team. But somehow the underdog will pull it off with my team getting all those guys back and all popping off. So good luck to Zombie. Cheese, who's winning this matchup?
Zombie, because he picks up fucking Michael Wilson and he's already better than Marvin Harrison Jr.
Marv's coming
apparently Michael Wilson is better, so okay. I don't fucking know.
Right. He's due for a bad week. He had 2 monster weeks.
Sorry, why do I have week 12 up? Sleeper's defaulting to week 12. Let me just take one more look. I think Zombie's gonna pull it out. Okay. I just don't. I feel like Brian Thomas is not like, there yet. I mean, if Benson is fully healthy, it could be close. I like the Benson, but with Gatson back, I mean, his flex looks disgusting. So I think Zombie's just gonna just pull up.
All right, Cronky.
Who's playing?
Me versus Zombie. Me versus the God Squad.
Do I answer with who I want to win, or
no, who you think will win, and then both. You can say who you want. Yeah, you can do both.
I think Zombie is going to win.
Okay.
I want Golfer to win.
All right. Well, you wanted me to win last week, and I came through for you. So
yep.
That's good.
Yeah. Let's hope you can do it again.
All right. Sounds good. All right, Zach.
Tie.
All right. All right. Moving on to what was that?
Are you eliminated with a tie?
Yeah. Pretty
tie.
Much. Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Moving on to the next matchup. This is the most meaningless matchup of the week now, as we see Ernie taking on Zach. Ernie now, after being officially eliminated, guaranteed last place at 2-10. He has lost 9 straight games.
Rough.
We'll see if Zach sends him to losing 10 straight. Obviously, from Zach's point of view, he is still in the running for that bye and that number 1 seed. So he definitely could use a win versus his good pal Ernie here this week, which I'm sure he'll be able to get it because Ernie's team has been atrocious. Right now, Sleeper Like Zach 126 to 104 from Ernie's side, just pathetic. Zach has returning Joe Burrow on Thursday night at a game Zach is going to against Baltimore.
Back,
oh my God! Why are you not starting the literal
he
MVP
wants the
of the
Bengals
National
stack
Football League.
that he gets to see live in person.
If I wanted to listen to you for quarterback thoughts last week, you wanted to start who? Bryce Young?
That is true.
Did I not? I didn't start him though.
Yeah, thanks. You should thank me and Rat.
I didn't. Doug. He was.
You know what? I don't hate the play. If it was me personally, I would start Stafford and just see what Burrow does this week. But I understand wanting to start him when you have Chase Brown and Jamar Chase and you're going to the game. I understand why you want to start him. And it's not like it's that egregious like it is Joe Burrow.
He could get 30 points.
What's that?
He could get 30 points, and I had the
I
stack.
don't know about that. Yeah, you do have the stack, though. Which,
So,
like I said, though,
like, I
that
don't know why
Baltimore
I'm
stack
getting-
might not be a good thing for you down the stretch, but we'll see.
Whoa.
Once again, you're putting your eggs all in the Bengals basket, which how many times has that burned you in the past?
That only means that it can't fail again.
Okay.
Can't fail, for a 10th time. You can't do it.
Okay. Jonathan Taylor against Houston, looking for a big bounce back game after the Chiefs bottled him up last week. Houston, a very good defense. Going to be tough for Taylor once again. Chase Brown against Baltimore. Jamar Chase back from suspension against Baltimore. T. Higgins got hurt, so that's won't play this week. They already ruled him out, so that's a big boost for Chase. And we'll see. That's a big loss from Ernie's side as he had Higgins. Justin Jefferson against Seattle. Tough defense to play in Seattle. Another 10-point game incoming for Justin Jefferson. Mark Andrews on Thursday night as well, so he's got 4 players he's going to be watching live in person. Scary Terry against Denver on Sunday night, really. We're putting him in there. Could return this week, and it's a tough defense he's facing with no quarterback as they're still ruled out Jaden Daniels. I don't know about that. Slayton on Monday night, so he does have a Monday night player, and then Loop the kicker, so he's got 5 players in his lineup at the game he's going to. That's crazy. On
It'll be a great game.
You better hope that game is an offensive game and not a boring-ass game. On Ernie's side, he has Drake May on Monday night, so he also has a Monday night player against the Giants. Good matchup there for Drake May. Judkins against the 49ers. Barkley on Friday against the Bears. A.J. Brown on Friday against the Bears. T. Higgins, which he'll have to take out of his lineup as he is out and ruled out. So let's see. He'll be putting in Quentin Johnson probably against the Raiders. In there. Dalton Schultz, the tight end, against the Colts. Kyle Pitts against the Jets. I mean, they're tight ends. Decent matchups, but we'll see what happens with them. David Montgomery on Thursday, so he does have a couple Thursday players with Aubrey as well in there. I'm taking Zach. I think Ernie loses 10 straight. I don't believe in his Eagles players. They have cost him all year long. T. Higgins is out, so that hurts. And I think Zach will score more than last week. It's going to be hard for him not to. But I don't think his Bengals stack will do as good as he's envisioning. But it will be enough to beat Ernie because Ernie's team is just in total freefall. Cheese, who's winning?
Ernie's cooked. When is the official date we're going to learn if he's going to pay or do the challenge?
Well, once the season is done, so after the championship game, then that next day he needs to tell me if he's going to do the punishment or going to pay. And there is a new rule now that we established this past year that he has 30 days from the day of the championship to either do the punishment or pay the $200 buy.
Yeah, so Ernie's cooked. Because he didn't have Higgins. Who's even putting in for Higgins? Yeah, Johnson. Yeah, he's cooked. Ernie could have saved his season, but he believed in his Eagles boys for too long.
Yep.
So he could have shipped A.J. Brown off and gotten value. Could have shipped Judkins off, gotten value.
Quentin Johnson, way earlier.
He could have shipped Drake May off and gotten value and started a lesser quarterback.
Yep.
I mean, I will say his Dalton Schultz pickup was pretty good. I was looking at Schultz. I'll give him that. And the injury luck hasn't been great, but he still could have made some moves. As
you were not here when we said this about Ernie, but I said that, the fantasy gods, this is just karma. This is now a few times now where the last place person has been the most inactive. A couple years ago, it was Zach when he came in last after not paying attention much that year. And now this year, Ernie, he doesn't pay that much attention. Last year was Matt, didn't pay that much attention, and they get last. This is a very highly competitive league where everybody's paying uber attention. So if you're not putting in that same effort, you normally get rewarded with last place, and that's what's happened, it seems, with Ernie this year. So All right, so you're taking Zach.
Mhm.
Cronky.
I am going to take. Who's playing?
Ernie and Zach in the meaningless game of the week.
Okay, again, I'm going to answer this that I think Zach is going to win. I want Ernie to win.
Okay, fair enough. All right,
Yep.
Zach, are you beating your good pal Ernie and sending him to his
This is
10th
going to be
straight loss?
a 160 to 160 tie.
Okay. Little. All right.
No, it's not. I'm going to tell him to set his lineup. He's going to play probably if I tell him to probably
Start Quentin
play
Johnson. That's the clear
Quentin
and obvious.
Johnston,
Yeah,
and then he's
that's the
going to
way.
switch out his. Maybe keep his
No,
kicker.
he just needs
What
to
the
sweat
fuck? He's
out
got the
Quentin
two
Johnson.
best kickers in the league. Jesus Christ. He
All
kept
he has
all
to
the
do is
kickers.
switch out Quentin Johnson, and he's
Damn.
done.
He's got the worst team in the league, but best kickers.
Little.
I gotta fucking pick up a kicker.
All right, moving on to the next matchup. This is
If
a
only-
big one. We
hold on.
have Rat
Can I
at
make another
5
joke? Can I
What?
make another joke? If only Zach could trade for Ernie's kickers.
Lol. Yeah,
Wow.
if you gave Zach Aubrey, he'd be in heaven. He would never have to worry about a kicker again. Um. Anyways, Rat taking on Cronky. After Rat narrowed out the Monday night victory this past week to keep his season barely alive on a thread, he now goes into a big matchup with Cronky at 7-5 versus 5-7. So huge one here. Sleeper obviously loves Cronky's side, 142 to 125. So we'll see if Rat can pull off the upset. He has Jordan Love going up against Detroit in Detroit on Thanksgiving. I don't know if I love that matchup, as Green Bay has just become a run it 30 times type of team and has taken the ball completely out of throwing it down the field with Jordan Love. So we'll see what happens with that. He doesn't most likely have Baker this week, so that's why he's got to go with Love. Rico Dowdle in there against the Rams. Obviously, the Rams have been playing pretty good. Don't love that. Genty against the Chargers. Could be decent. CeeDee Lamb on Thursday as well against Kansas City. We all know Rat has not loved CeeDee lately, as he's been dropping passes. Dropped a touchdown this past week as well. So we'll see if he could turn it around and have a big game against Kansas City. They're going to need him. Christian Watson against Detroit. He has been playing a little better these last couple weeks, so not a horrible play there. Brenton Strange, who had a nice first game back and now gets Tennessee this week, like that spot. Devontae Smith on Friday against Chicago. We'll see if he can bounce back with a big game. And Nico Collins against the Colts. See if he can bounce back. So Rat has some guys that had some bad weeks last week. We'll see if they bounce back in better matchups. On Cronky's side, he has Lemar on Thursday night against Cincinnati, who Zach will be watching in person. We'll see how Lemar looks, assuming he plays. He is a little banged up, but he did full practice today, so he should be good to go. Isaiah Pacheco in there on Thursday as well against Dallas. He's cleared for the game, so he should be good to go there. We'll see what he can do. Bijan Robinson against the Jets. Pretty good spot there for Bijan to have a monster game. JSN against Minnesota. It's JSN. He'll do his thing. Jameson Williams on Thanksgiving against Green Bay. It's either going to be a big Thanksgiving game from him or a complete bust. That's how JMO works. McBride against Tampa Bay. Obviously, that'll be good. Xavier Worthy on Thanksgiving against Dallas. We'll see what happens with that. Lad McConkey off by against the Raiders. That's a really good spot there. And Dicker against the Raiders. Cronky does have quite a few good matchups this week, and I do think his team is kind of due for a bigger week after having a bad week last week. Rat side, I don't like Jordan Love. I don't really like Dowdle this week. Um, I don't know. Rat has some guys with potential to have some big games like CD, Nico after having bad games last week. But even if they do, I don't think it's enough, as I think Cronky's side is just way stronger and has also guys that will have big bounce back weeks. So I'm going to take Cronky to end Rat's season this week, unfortunately for Rat. Cheese, who's winning?
I think is Genty hurt? No, not severe.
No.
And Love, I don't like Love, honestly.
I mean, Detroit's defense ain't great, but they just don't throw the ball.
I think that I'm gonna take upset Rat
Wow, you're gonna take Rat. Okay.
because I think we're gonna get another JMO 0, and
So, okay, how many
Pacheco's gonna
times
bust,
do
and
you want
Worthy's
to
gonna
go
have
to
a bad
Disney
game.
World every time you look at who I play? Because I think this is like the fourth week in a row, Cheese, where you're just going to say, I think he's going to do this and
I'm just
he's
gonna
going to do
pray. I'm praying
that.
on your downfall, so let me do
Yeah,
it.
that's all you're
I
doing,
mean, a
Cheese.
lot of people are doing that, so it's a popular thing. All right, so we're taking a Rat upset, Cheese. All right, interesting.
You guys
To
can't
take
even
it,
say it. You
Fusa,
can't
it's a
even
sign
say
of
it.
respect. It's a sign of respect.
You can't even say it. Like, there's a chance I win this league, and you guys are just
Okay.
going to be
There
like
is, Fusa.
dumbfounded.
There is,
You
no,
guys
there
going to be
is,
done.
Or there's a
there
chance
is.
come the semifinals, your guys all bust and you lose.
Fusa, there is a chance you win the
But
league,
but
100%.
if that day comes, oh my God, you guys better go.
It'll
Oh,
be like last year
Hey,
when Rat beat you. We'll
Fusa,
be all
Fusa,
happy.
if you win the league, you can join the club. We can show our rings off. Like,
Cronky, you can't make bets with half the league and then be shocked when we're all rooting against you to not win the league.
oh, I'm not shocked at all. I'm
Okay,
just
well,
saying
you just sound like you're a
there's
little like upset that
here,
we're all
Fusa,
rooting
my
against you.
reasoning
Ooh,
is I think the Cowboys have momentum. Okay, their season is very much alive. They're going to go hard against KC.
That game is in fact a season-ending game for the loser.
That's a massive game. I
Yep.
think they're going to fucking try their asses off. I think Rico was pissed last game, barely got any carries. They're going to feed him. I
Mhm.
like the Strange spot. And then I like Nico and Smith to have good games over like Worthy and Williams. That's all.
Okay.
It could
Fair.
easily go the other way.
Yep. Okay. Zach, who's winning between Rat and Cronky?
So I want Fake Rat to win,
Okay.
and I think Fake Rat will win.
Oh.
Lemar is gonna drop a fucking shitter. He's gonna drop a shitter of a game.
Okay.
They
Have
might
you
think about benching
given
him.
any
I mean,
thought
Lemar-
to going down to the sidelines and injuring Lemar? Maybe stepping on the
It's
toe?
no, I do like Lemar. I don't wish for major injury for Lemar, but I do hope he does shit until Pusa is done
If
with.
somehow he did get injured and was on the cart, would you take out your phone and take a live picture of him on the cart and send it to
Oh yeah,
Cronky?
oh yeah. I would thank Lemar for his
oh,
service
Zach,
as well.
Now
Golfer,
Zach,
you would get a kick out of that.
Zach,
Golfer.
here's a question for you.
I will
Zach,
root for it, but I will laugh at
Zach,
it.
here's a question for you. Here's a
What?
question. Let's say it's halftime and all your players are shitting it up. How many beers are we drinking?
No, you should be asking him is he leaving the game because Zach is notorious for leaving
honestly,
early in bad games that he goes to.
I cannot stomach any more alcohol after the weekend I just had, so probably no alcohol at the game.
If Joe Burrow gets hurt in the game and the Bengals are down by 30 and Chase isn't even out there because they're just resting the whole team and their season is done, are you leaving in the third quarter?
No.
Oh.
I mean, it's gonna be cold as fuck. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Oh, okay.
Maybe if Jamar Chase has a DeMar Hamlin moment, or
Yeah, and spits on another
a
guy and gets
Tyreek.
ejected.
Whoa. He doesn't do that.
Hmm.
If he has a Tyreek Hill moment, then maybe we leave.
Oh, okay. Would you
But
if he's pumping up the crowd in the end zone like AJ Brown was, are you gonna go down there and like pump up the crowd with him?
oh yeah, I think I got
Okay.
some halfway decent seats, so I think
Okay.
I'll be within shouting distance.
Oh yeah.
Are we going to see
Okay.
you on the TV?
No.
All right. So Rat is winning. All right. That's 2 picks for Rat. I did pick Cronky. Cronky, are you getting this win and ending Rat's season? You ended Ernie's last week. You're like the Slim Reaper. You took out
Without
Ernie's last
pleasure.
week. You have a chance to end Rat's this
Golfer,
week.
he's not the Slim Reaper.
It's going
Grim
to be over for him. I'm sorry to say that.
Okay.
Rat season's going to end. I'm going to probably beat him by 30.
30.
I'm
Wow.
sorry, Rat.
Okay.
But
Gonna
I'm
beat him.
going to enjoy this.
Yeah, I'm sure you are gonna enjoy beating your, as you
Look,
say,
who's
Ratty.
I wouldn't get too high on your horses.
Oh,
Anything can
he's
happen
high.
in
He's high on
playoffs.
his horse.
Oh, and no, I mean, I'm pretty high on myself. I don't have to win this week, but
Listen, you have so I'm just saying, anything can happen.
yeah, I'm
Someone
just
could get
glad
Damar Hamlin again. We
it's
could get
just
Damar
like
Hamlin
really
2.0.
2 weeks of peace and quiet because no matter
That
what
is
happens,
true.
I'm in the playoffs.
That is true. That's true. That's fair.
So you can only improve.
Yeah, but you're
I
going
just
for
don't.
that bye, which
Who's
is in
is
reach.
Zombies number? No, Slaps is still number one because none of the 7-win teams can get a
Yeah,
win.
but
I really.
all they got to do now is win and Slaps lose once, and they're
I
jumping.
don't think like 142. Still, I think that's going to improve if with Marvin plays. Hopefully, he's practicing tomorrow. But I'm just saying, like, if I get Lamar to put up a consistent, 20 points,
Mhm.
he can score
Well,
20 against Cincinnati. I mean,
that's a
142 is pretty accurate.
So it
a
sounds like you're
disappointment that he
saying you
gets
have a
20.
God squad, or your team is perfect.
Um, it's pretty good. I mean, I put 100 points. My quarterback scored 4. So I mean,
So
if
your
my
team is
quarterback
perfect.
pops off, or I get 2 people to pop off on my team, I mean, like the I think the floor on Trey McBride is 16, 17 points. I mean, he is a target hog. I
Mhm.
mean, JMO is a boomer bust. Don't get me wrong.
Yep.
He might not have to play if I can. It'd be a toss up. Be him or Worthy that would
Mhm.
play.
Got decisions. I hope you don't start the wrong ones. All right. Anything else you want to say before I move on?
I think I'm gonna beat the shit out of Rat.
Mm, okay.
I don't think it's gonna be particularly close.
Okay. And good season, Ratty. That will be coming out.
Um, I just hope just know that Rat remembers this because I'm gonna put you in the coffin
Mm.
and let it be known I'm gonna remind you a lot. And that $100 is gonna taste very sweet.
Mm, okay. Yeah. It does if you beat him this week? Does that pretty much gets you that money?
100%. And
Mm,
same way with you. If you lose this
yep.
week,
Yep.
I'm up
And
$200,
then we talk about
300.
our double or nothing. Hmm.
Ernie already owes me $100, so
Ooh. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
might not see the light of day on that money. So
Well, you'll have to
theoretically,
send him a text.
Ernie would owe $300 in theoretical payment
$300. Oh.
because he would owe 200 for the league because he's
Oh.
never doing the punishments. Hate to
Okay.
break that to
Yeah, you're gonna
anybody.
have to send that text to collect your bet. All right.
Oh, is that so? I think the commissioner's gonna text him.
Well, I mean, the only way you seem to get a response from him is by texting him. So.
Oh, well, you're the commissioner. I'll give him the phone
Okay.
number. How about that?
All right. We'll discuss when it comes
I'm not
time.
HR. I'm not HR.
Okay, buddy. You literally said the other week you
It's
would
your
transfer.
bet, pussy.
You
It's your
said you
fucking
would
bet.
transfer messages for me. You
Buddy,
did say
you're
that.
the HR. You are HR. You're
Buddy,
gonna go
you
take care of
said
that.
last week you would transfer messages. Just tell me what you need me to send them. So that's what I
But
took
I'm
you up
not
on there.
HR. That's
Oh, so
something
now
that
you're
you're gonna take care of.
revoking what you said you would do,
Payment,
huh?
payment. You trust me
Hmm.
to gather payment for the league?
Yeah,
Because that ain't
I'll
ever.
gather the league one. I'm not gathering your bet. You can do that yourself.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you could be HR and you can go deal that for me, and I'll send you the phone number.
I don't get involved in that unless they ignore you and don't pay you. Then I get involved. But you have to try first on your own. All right, moving on to the next matchup. We have Pook taking on Anth. Another kind of big matchup here from Pook's side of things. Anth, after that big win over Tyler last week at 7-5, as we said, kind of locked up his spot unless like something drastic happens where he loses out and a bunch of teams score a lot of points and somehow overtake him. But it's more important from Pook as he has to just keep stacking wins here and try to overcome Anth to give himself a chance. right now, Sleeper likes Anth slightly, 127 to 123. Anth has Patrick Mahomes on Thursday against Dallas. Obviously, that monster game between Dallas and Chiefs. Mahomes should be able to play pretty well against that Dallas defense. James Cook against Pittsburgh. Travis Etienne against Tennessee. Pretty good matchups there for both of them, as they both helped Anth get the victory last week. He's going to need them both to have strong games again this week. DK Metcalf against Buffalo. Um, limited early in the week, so that's something to keep an eye on with DK to see if he plays. Ant's going to need him. Drake London, who the Falcons could be cautious with. That doesn't sound good like he's coming back this week. It's a good matchup against the Jets, so we'll see if he's out, what happens. Johan Johnson against Miami, pretty good matchup there for Johnson, who's been looking pretty good now that they don't have many people to throw to. Kenneth Gainwell against Buffalo, could be decent as Buffalo gives up points on the ground. Michael Pittman against Houston, tougher matchup there, and Boswell against Buffalo. Obviously, he's got Kamara out hurt, and if Laporta out hurt, so if London's out, he probably has to throw in either Cooper Kupp or Tyler Lockett. So I'll probably have to roll with one of them. On Pook's side, Dak Prescott on Thursday, so they got the quarterbacks battling each other in that matchup. KC versus Dallas. Breece Hall against Atlanta. Travion Henderson on Monday night against the Giants. I like that spot there for him. He also has Diggs on Monday night, so this matchup could come down to Monday night with those guys. Shakir against Pittsburgh on Sunday. Bowers against the Chargers on Sunday. Like that spot for Bowers. Mooney against the Jets could be decent, especially with Drake London out on the other side. That could be good for Pook. Jalen Waddle back off by now against New Orleans. Pretty good matchup there. And Prater against Pittsburgh. I like Pook's matchups a lot this week. Also, he's got the Wilson guy on the bench if somehow Jacobs misses again, as well as Hunt on the bench. So he's got options. I like Pook's lineup a lot this week with his matchups and Anth with his injury question marks. I think Pook continues the hot streak one more week and picks up another win to go to 6-7. I'm going to take Pook in a close matchup. But decently scoring, close matchup. But I think Pook will edge out this one. And Ant's a little bit of fortune streak on Monday night games comes to an end as I think Pook's Patriot guys get Pook the win. Cheese, who's winning?
I'm taking Pook.
Okay.
I like Dak again. I said I like that game in general for high offense. And I don't think that London's gonna play, so advantage
Yep. Okay.
and he's gonna stay alive.
All right. Survive another week. All right. Let's see here. Cronky.
Who's playing?
Pook and Ant. It's Pook.
Who do I want to win?
You can give us both. Does Pook season continue another week?
Oh, let me look at the preview. See here. Pook. Bam. This is a big game.
Yep, from Pook's side.
I think Pook's gonna win,
Okay.
and I hope Pook's gonna win.
Okay. Fair enough.
I got a feeling. I think Breece Hall's gonna go off. I think maybe Travion Henderson scores a touchdown.
So
I think the Cowboys are gonna beat the Chiefs.
Wow.
what is Pook's points for? He needs a lot of points for still, right?
Yeah, but it is edging closer to Tyler. And
But I think the issue here for Pook is that Bill's team looks unstoppable.
Hold on. This
there's a world where
is the
both
worst
Bill
game
and Pook can get
on
it.
planet
That's
Earth.
true. That's fair.
The Chiefs and the that's.
But I
Thanksgiving.
do have more
Oh,
points than Pook at the moment, which is
Yeah,
nice.
but-
That's a tough Thanksgiving game for Crocky. 3:30.
That's
Chiefs
that's
and
a
Dallas.
fun.
Oh,
What do you mean tough? You're unemployed.
I hate that
Crocky,
game.
you're just now seeing what the Thanksgiving games are. There are 3 great matchups. Detroit and Green
Chiefs.
Bay to start the day. That's great. Then Chiefs and Cowboys, which is basically a playoff elimination game for one of them. The loser probably is out of the playoff race. The winner is still in. And then the nightcap of Bengals and Ravens with Joe Burrow back versus Lamar. It's great Thanksgiving games. Okay, so you're taking Pook?
Yep. Mhm.
Okay. Zach?
Tie.
Tie. All right, which would probably end Pook's season.
Definitely a tie.
Okay. All right. Moving on to the next matchup. We'll save Cheese and Tyler for last because I think that's the biggest one of the week. We have Bill at 6-6 versus Slaps at 8-4. Slaps coming off a couple losses, still holding on by a thread to that number one spot. But you figure another loss this week, and he probably doesn't have any more. And Bill, who is the hottest team right now in the league, just rolling off some high-scoring weeks and some big wins at 6-6, tied now for that final playoff spot. Just out on points forward to Tyler. Tyler obviously with a tough matchup versus Cheese this week, so another opportunity for Bill if he can beat the top team in the league right now to get the victory. Right now, Sleeper projecting, I believe the numbers are weird here. It says Bill has a 48% chance, but he has 127 to 120. I don't understand what's going on there. Did they change something with his lineup? That's weird. Oh, Bill doesn't have a kicker. That's why. Okay. Or maybe he does and it's just not showing for me. He might have put it in during the show. Anyways, Bill might be a slight favorite here versus Slaps. Bill has rolling with Trevor Lawrence again against Tennessee. Decent matchup for Trevor Lawrence. He did okay for Bill last week. Derrick Henry on Thursday versus Cincinnati. Gibbs after his monster 55-point game against Green Bay. They're going to need Gibbs to have another great game if they're going to beat Green Bay. McMillan against the Rams. Ibuka against Arizona. Decent matchup for Ibuka to have a bounce back. But we'll have to see what happens with Baker's injury. Fannin against the 49ers. Don't know if I love that. Parker Washington against Tennessee. Pretty decent spot there. And Kittle against Cleveland. It's Kittle, so he'll probably still get some points. And then he's got his kicker, who he hasn't picked up yet. Interesting. He has Hunter Henry against the Giants, and he's rolling with Fannin instead. I think I'd be going with Fannin, or I'd be going with Hunter Henry, in my opinion. And it's a Monday night player. So we'll see what Bill decides to do with his lineup decisions. He also has Dart on Monday night, but does he take the risk and wait on Dart, or does he just roll with Trevor Lawrence? He hasn't had a setback with his concussion, so he could come back. So that's some interesting lineup decisions for Bill this week, and they're crucial ones. We all know earlier in the year when Bill was on his losing streak, he made bad decisions with his lineup. He's got some big decisions to make this week. Well, if he makes the right ones, he could win. But if he doesn't make the right ones, it might cost him. On Slaps' side, he has Jalen Hurts on Friday versus Chicago. Josh Jacobs on the Thursday game against Detroit. He's limited on Tuesday, so we'll see if Jacobs is good enough to go for that game. Kyron Williams against Carolina. Devontae Adams against Carolina. Decent spot there for them. Jawan Jennings against Cleveland. A little tougher matchup there for Jennings. Theo Johnson on Monday night against the Patriots. Not horrible. Fat Diarrhea Deebo Samuel off the bye on Sunday night against the Broncos. Not a great matchup there, but we'll see if Scary Terry plays. Troy Franklin coming back off the bye as well on Sunday night. And then Fairbairn against the Colts. I think what I said is what I'm going to predict. I think if Bill makes the right lineup decisions, I think if he starts the right tight end, if he starts the right quarterback, then I think he will win this. But if he doesn't start the right ones, then I think he's going to lose. And I don't know if I trust Bill to start the right ones. I don't think he's going to take the risk on Dart. For some reason, he doesn't have Hunter Henry in there. He's going with Fannin instead, at the moment anyways. So right now what I'm seeing, I'm going to take Slaps to put a big dent in Bill's season. If Bill lost this week, he necessarily wouldn't be eliminated, depending on what happens with Tyler versus Cheese, but it would put a huge setback for Bill. He basically kind of needs to go 8-6 to guarantee that he makes it. But I'm going to take Slaps at the moment based off the lineups I'm seeing. Cheese, who's winning?
Take Bill.
Okay.
I personally would start Trevor Lawrence.
Okay, right.
Because I wouldn't want to have, like, when Dart takes a hit in the first quarter and he's done.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't risk it on his first game back.
Lawrence is definitely the safer floor.
And Lawrence has a really good matchup, so.
Mm-hmm.
Because Tennessee sucks balls.
But those division games sometimes aren't as
I
easy
would,
as
however, sub in Hunter Henry because he's been on fire. I don't know what that's about. But I'm still going to take Bill because Slaps is due for a loss because he's just fucking winning with terrible points.
What do you mean? He just lost to me this week. And
he's due for another loss. He's due for more losses.
Okay, so he's due for a third straight loss. Okay.
And I don't think Jacobs is going to play, so I don't really
Okay.
know. And he doesn't really have a backup. So
Yeah. All right. Cronky,
Who's playing?
Bill, and Slaps.
Who do I think's gonna win, and who do I want to win? I
Well,
think
you
Bill's gonna
clearly
win.
want Bill to win,
I think Bill's gonna win, and I know Bill's gonna win.
and you want Bill to win because that helps you get the bye. Okay.
I think Bill's gonna win. Like I said, I
Alright.
think Slaps' team somehow, who is the person with the bye, is fucking terrible. If
Okay.
you look at his flexes, his wide receiver too, and his tight end,
Hmm.
trash.
Okay.
I mean, it's
Fair enough.
trash. And his RB2 put up 5 points last week. I mean, that's unacceptable.
Well, that
I
was
don't think his
Kyron
team's
just had a
very
bad
good.
game and a bad game script, but
I don't think his team's very good, to be
okay.
honest with you. It should not be getting the bye.
All right. Zach.
We are gonna have our first tie of the year of ever.
Okay.
I hope
For this
so.
match.
I really hope so. I just hope the one day that you get this tie right, that you actually get it right. Like it's
Well, I mean, he's
you
picking it
predicted
almost
the
every time,
tie.
so if he misses
Once
it,
there's a
it'd be
tie,
embarrassing.
and once you get the tie and you get it right, oh, that's gonna be the first tie. It's the first time in league
gonna
history,
hit.
and you got it right. Oh my
We
God.
almost had it this year. We were
It's
close.
gonna be a
We
great
got to
time.
now.
We were so
Zach,
close.
if you hit a tie on a week and you predicted
Don't
it,
say
I
you'll
don't
buy
care
him a
what
drink
day it
because
is.
you already lied on that.
No, I don't care what day it is. We're going to
True.
Vegas.
Okay.
You
If
can't
you
afford
hit
it.
a tie, oh, I'll be there in a heartbeat. You get a tie right, I'm gone. Let's go.
Okay.
You're gonna pay for me too?
Yep. You get a tie
This
right.
coming from the
you
guy that
get-
said he'd buy you a drink and then he never did.
You cannot
I wouldn't
afford
trust
both
that.
of us, buddy.
If you get a tie right, we're going to Vegas.
Okay.
All right.
All right, moving on then to the final matchup of Week 13. We have the biggest one, Cheese, at 7-5. We talked about Cheese's team earlier with his points for starting to creep down there with some of those 5-7 and 6-6 Bill team. Definitely needs to try to find one more win, and this would be a big one to get against the team right below him at 6-6, Tyler. Obviously, Tyler, after that crushing loss this past week to Anth, has another opportunity here to kind of punch his ticket in and get to that 7th win. Obviously, now Bill is tied with him on record. So if Tyler would lose and Bill would win, he could potentially drop out of the playoffs going into Week 14. So just a monster game here from both teams who are fighting to get in and secure their playoff spot. Right now, Sleeper likes Tyler slightly, 121 to 114 over Cheese. Tyler has Brock Purdy against Cleveland. Tough matchup, coming off a bad game where he let Tyler down. Don't necessarily love that spot. Aaron Jones against Seattle. Aaron Jones kind of just a 10-point running back. Seattle's defense is very tough. Don't love that really either. Kenneth Walker against Minnesota as well. Who knows what you're going to get from Kenneth Walker. Wan'Dale Robinson on Monday night against Patriots. Do like that as Wan'Dale has been popping off lately. Decent there for a Monday night player. Puka Nacua against Carolina. Obviously, it's Nacua. He'll do his thing. Travis Kelce on Thursday, so he does have a Thanksgiving player against Dallas. Chris Olave against Miami. Pretty decent matchup there for Olave. And Dallas Goedert on Friday against Chicago. We'll see if Bucky Irving finally makes his return. He'll practice all week, surely. They get Bucky Irving in there finally. That would be a big boost to Tyler's lineup to have him back in there. He also has Keenan Allen against the Raiders. We'll see if or DJ Moore against Philly. DJ just had a huge game. So we'll see if Tyler's paying attention to switch the lineup. I would take Goddard out for sure after his bad game. I would get either Keenan Allen in there or DJ Moore. And obviously Bucky Irving's going in for Aaron Jones if Tyler's paying attention. We'll see if he just throws away his playoffs by not making the lineup changes. On Cheese's side, Caleb Williams against Philly on Friday. Could be a sneaky good game. We'll see. This is kind of like the prove it game for the Bears. They're somehow 8-3. They're the sneakiest 8-3 team that I don't think anybody takes seriously. We'll see if this is kind of the statement game at Philly on Friday in the spotlight. We'll see if they can stun Philly. Philly's looking for a bounce back after that collapse against the Cowboys. So big game there for Caleb. McCaffrey against the Browns. Browns are sneaky decent defense, but it's McCaffrey. He'll get his points one way or the other. Woody Marks against the Colts. Hard to know what Woody will do. Jacoby Myers against Tennessee, decent spot for Jacoby, especially after getting a touchdown last week, looking a little bit better each week. Cortland Sutton back off bye versus Washington. If he can't get some decent points against that horrible Commanders defense, then I don't know what to tell you. Jake Ferguson on Thursday as well against Kansas City. Monagle in there against Philly. Ooh. And Swift against Philly. Rolling with both Bears running backs in your flexes against Philly? Against Philly? Oh.
I'm not starting Pierce against the Texans.
Ugh.
I'm going for the floor there. I'm going to guarantee myself
the Giants, Ricky Pearsall.
I'm guaranteeing myself some points.
Is it? Are you though? Like you're guaranteeing
one of them's getting a touchdown.
You're guaranteeing yourself like maybe 10 points between two spots. I don't know about that. I wouldn't give up on Ricky Pearsall just yet. I know it's Cleveland, but at least because he's got Purdy, so maybe it negates some of that. Ugh. Man, this one I think is going to be really close. You know, I liked most of Cheese's lineup until we got to that end there. Meanwhile, Tyler, I think, has a pretty strong lineup if he makes the right lineup changes. I don't know if he's paying attention or not. So there's a chance. Based on what I'm seeing right now, I'm going to say tie. And if Tyler makes the lineup changes with getting those players back, I will pick Tyler. But right now, he doesn't have them in there, so I'm going to say tie. Zach, who's winning this?
Tyler and who?
Cheese.
You know, the guy's name is literally Tyler. So we're going with a tie.
Okay. I like what you did there. All right, Cronky.
Awesome.
I don't think Cheese is going to win another game.
That could happen.
Like I said. So
what do you play in Week 14, Cheese?
I play Ann, I'm pretty sure.
So I'm just saying, but I think Tyler's going to have 7 wins. So that means, what's your points for compared to Tyler?
He's behind him slightly.
I'm behind Tyler. Yeah, a little bit, like 20 points behind Tyler.
So you're never catching Tyler?
I am ahead of Bill, but no, Bill's ahead of me too. By like 6 points though, so it's like that's not really nothing.
Jeez.
I am way ahead of Pook though. I am way ahead of Pook.
Jeez, I'd start to pray.
I mean, me versus Tyler. This is the matchup. This is it.
Yeah. This might be your playoff. This might be your season right here.
Well, I mean, if I get the 8th win, I'm in. But
honestly, the best thing for the 5 and 7s, me, Rat, and Pook, is we're hoping that Cheese.
Right?
We're hoping Tyler wins, because that would send you both to 7 and 6.
Oh, because then you could both overtake your points for.
Yeah, and then because your points for are both catchable for us, that would open up 2 playoff spots for Bill, myself, Pook, and Rat to fight for.
Well,
listen,
if 14, you win, then it just makes only 1 playoff spot available.
Looking ahead to Week 14, just for a spoiler for next week's show.
Yeah.
Rat plays Ernie.
Yeah.
So free win again.
Yeah, but he needs more than.
Pook plays Tyler.
Yeah, so that would be huge.
And you play Bill, so.
So Pook is probably hoping.
That I win.
Yeah,
right?
see, Pook should be hoping for Tyler to win. That way, it keeps 2 playoff spots available. You would both be at 7 and 6, and then Pook beats Tyler in the final week and outscores him by a decent amount to overtake him at 7 and 7 with points for. Or worst case, maybe you lose in Week 14 and you're 7 and 7 and he overtakes you by points.
So Week 14 is interesting. Yeah. Just as another spoiler, because McCaffrey's on bye.
Ooh.
Wait, is there a way to look at like playoffs?
It's over.
Percentages?
Yes, I can pull up my website. Hold on.
Yeah, I mean, if you win this week, then basically there's just 1 playoff spot left, and it's going to be very hard for the.
All right, hold on, Pusa. Hold on, Pusa. I'm opening right now.
I need a panic wheel.
Right now, the website is giving me a 23% chance of finishing in 6th place. a 16% chance of finishing in 7th place, and then a 20% chance of finishing in 8th place.
So you have just as good of a chance of missing the playoffs as you do getting a 6th
Yes.
seed.
And then, yeah, I mean, this week I could change the flexes. I don't really want to start Pierce against Houston because that's not going to go well. I feel like we're gonna get Booty is just so boomer bust.
I mean, that's
But,
what
like,
all your
maybe
players are right now, though.
Yeah, but I guess I could. I mean, I'm if I'm putting the Chicago running back in, it's gonna be Monagai over Swift. Just
Okay.
for the touchdown upside.
Sounds like you got a lot of decisions to make.
It's just the issue is, do I want to swap out Swift for like a Booty or a higher upside player?
Yeah.
Yep,
I'm gonna take Tyler. Sounds like you got a lot of decisions, and I don't like the
I'm
decisions.
still gonna take myself, but I do get Ferguson on Thanksgiving. I have a Cowboy almost every year, so it's nice to watch Thanksgiving games, which is fun. I feel like Son's in a good spot. Jacoby Myers is in a good spot. Woody Marks owns the backfield now. For anybody watching the game,
We were talking about
We
that
talked
earlier,
about
and
that,
yeah,
he owns
the
it.
backfield.
He may own
He
it,
owns
but
it. I'm not saying he's getting points, but he owns
fucking
it.
Sucks. He
Well,
sucks.
he just hasn't been getting those
covers the same
touchdowns.
amount of use as him.
So
Woody
I
Marks
feel like
is trash. He's getting those touches, but he does nothing with them. You might
well,
as well pick
Davis
up
Mills doesn't throw checkdowns
they
like
can't run block.
Sucks.
like Stroud does.
Yeah, they can't run block.
So I gotta hope he gets a touchdown, which he could. It's not out of the question. I'm gonna monitor. I mean, maybe Swift just gets hurt. It'd be so fun if Swift just like tripped on his kitchen floor.
Wow.
But if I was gonna sub anybody in, it would definitely be Booty, just because the Giants' defense is actually the worst I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
So I mean, a Booty could at least rip off like a 70-yard touchdown.
I mean, you may need the boomer bust potential this week.
Yeah, I mean, especially if Bucky Irving's playing.
It's one thing if you were playing Ernie, then okay, maybe you can get away with
playing
both
Ernie, I
Chicago
could
running
chill,
backs, but I don't think you can. You're guaranteed to not get double digits from both those Bears running backs, so I think you're just throwing away points.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm also picking up a different kicker. I'm not starting Chase McLaughlin. He's going to get dropped. So.
Okay.
Because Baker might be hurt. There's no
Kicking
point.
decision for Cheese incoming. All right.
Well, I mean, Baker's hurt. There's no point of holding on to that kicker.
All right. All right, so monster matchup. This, like I said, this one is the best one of the week because it will determine a lot for Week 14. It kind of will determine if we have 2 playoff spots available or just 1. So, like I said, all the people at 5 and 7, you really should be rooting for Tyler to win, because that opens up the case of maybe Cheese also dropping out, as well as Tyler if they both would lose in the final week based on points for being obtainable. Meanwhile, for Bill's side of things, he's probably hoping that Tyler loses, because if he wins and Tyler loses, then he can just jump him on record going into the final week. But the 5 and 7s really need the 2 playoff spots available, because not only if only 1 playoff spot's available, we have to jump not only Bill but then also Tyler, and that's just probably too hard to do.
I think that Bill, I don't want to say lock, but he has a very good chance of all the remaining teams.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's the same record as the person that has the final spot. Meanwhile, all of us are a game behind. So yeah, clearly he has the best chance.
I mean, if
that's why the 5 and 7 teams need a second spot to open up.
I mean, Pook and Bill could jump me and Tyler. That's a very likely scenario.
Well, you say Pook, but then you also have to say me. I'm only 15 points for behind Pook, so.
Well,
if I somehow can beat Zombie this week, then that would be massive.
I'm just saying Pook because he does play Tyler. That's also he would just next week, so he would. Yeah, so that's the only reason, because if he wins that, Tyler's definitely out.
Honestly, the best case for us 5 and 7s is we all win this week. We score a decent amount of points. Your matchup with Tyler is like a lower scoring, like 100-point game, and Tyler pulls it out, and that's the best case scenario where we all gain points for on both of you. You guys are both 7 and 6, and then it goes to the final week with a bunch of scenario in play. So we'll see if that happens.
He was lagging for a little bit.
Oh, okay. See, all right. So yeah, that's basically it. Anybody else want to make any? Actually, let's do one last thing. Let's do the final playoff prediction of what we think's going to happen in these last couple spots. Who do you think's getting the final 2 playoff spots? I'll start. I'm going to say Bill gets in, and I'm going to say Tyler gets in. Sorry, Cheese. I just don't like the trajectory of your team.
I think we'll sneak out a win this week, and then I'll take Bill as the last spot.
All right, so Bill and you. Okay.
I mean, I just need to squeak one out this week. Then we can shit the bed next week. Will McCaffrey on bye.
Okay. Cronky?
Who's playing?
Oh my! Can you pay attention?
who's
Who is
the
getting
last
the
two
last
playoff
2 playoff spots?
Oh.
Between Cheese, Tyler, Bill, Pook, me, and Rat.
I gotta think about this for a second. Can I get?
I'll
Can I
go.
get 30
Zach,
seconds?
go ahead.
Let me
Jesus.
answer that.
You had the
I'm
whole time to
here
think there if you were
say-
paying attention.
I'm here
Zach?
to say right now, the reason that Pusa has to think so hard about that is because we don't give a shit about that. We don't care who's
Okay.
gonna finish last 2 because nobody's gonna make that type of noise in the playoffs.
Oh.
Now
okay.
I'll tell you this.
Really? You would gladly face Bill's team in the playoffs?
The last 4 people that will remain in the playoffs are me, Zombie, Slaps, and Anth.
Wow, so that's your semifinal. You,
That's-
Zach, Anth,
Yep.
and Zombie.
And Zombie. And
What-
Slaps.
what-
Interesting. Okay. All right, Cronky, back to my original question.
He's delusional. That's what he is.
Uh,
I think that the last 2 playoff spots will be Cheese
Okay.
and Tyler.
All right, so just staying like it is. Okay.
Yeah, I think.
And did you take
Luke
Cheese over
season-
Tyler?
He took a tie, I think.
Oh.
I don't
I
remember.
took Tyler.
You took
No.
Tyler. So then you think Cheese is winning in week
Anth.
14?
That means I'm beating Anth without McCaffrey.
Or you think Cheese is losing and
Yeah.
then he somehow holds on to his points?
I think
for him?
I mean,
I
Anth's
don't
not
know.
projected for that many points in week 14.
I think Tyler's going to be 7-7. I think Cheese is going to be 8-6. I think Amp's going to be 8-6. I think Zach's going to be 8-6.
Okay.
I mean,
So the only
to
way
be
for that to happen,
fair-
if you're taking Tyler to beat Cheese this week, then you're saying Cheese wins in week 14.
I could be.
against Anth.
I think I'm going to be 8-6. I think everybody's going to be 8-6. To be honest with you, and it's going to be it's going to be a shit brigade.
Okay.
to be
I
fair,
think
though,
there's going to
Anth-
be
Anth-
6 teams at 8-6.
If London is hurt, Anth's team's kind of dookie in week 14, so it's doable. Like, it's not out
I
of the
think there's
question.
going to be 6 teams at 8-6.
I can see that.
Interesting. All right. Well, we will see what happens in week 13. Real quickly, reminder on the player prop. We are not doing the games for Thanksgiving, so you'll have to give me your picks on before Sunday. Last week was a horrible week as we only had 5 people get the correct picks. Everyone else lost. Cronky, Slaps, myself, Anth, and Cheese were the only ones to get them right. Everybody else lost, so just a horrible week. So let's try better for this week. Less games to choose from this Sunday, so maybe that means we can, pick a better player. There's not as many players to choose from, so maybe that will help us. We'll see.
Golfer, if you get all picks in before the Thanksgiving games, can we use Thursday?
We're not going to get all the picks in. I
No,
guarantee you we're not getting all the
because-
picks in.
No, I'm not going down that road where I'm forcing everyone to fucking give their picks before the Thursday. I'm not dealing with that. We already voted.
no.
We already voted on that. Pook had his issues with it. We already voted.
Pook is the biggest pain in
we
my ass in this
decided-
fucking league.
We decided to just do them on for the Sunday games. That's what we're going to
What does Pook bring to this league? He brings no entertainment. He's a stingy trader. He's not a good fantasy player. He
no.
never joins the show. He
Look.
never negotiates. He always causes problems.
Damn.
It's just nonstop with him.
Yeah, well, that's Pook for you. That's, somebody in the league has to be that type of person, and that's Book. So,
Guy's ass.
yeah, well, it is what
He's
it is.
next. He's next.
Okay. All right. Well, we will catch everyone back here for week 14 to see what happened in the crucial week 13. Good luck to everybody in their matchups. Make sure you keep an eye on your players if you have injury concerns, especially with the Thursday games. Good luck to everybody and happy Thanksgiving.